Pow!
Kerplop!
Boff! What's up, everybody? I'm Ryan from the Uncanny Comic League.
I'm Jason. Welcome back. This is our first ever episode at the Table of Heroes, and we're going to start it off with a little bit of a discussion. We got a few things that have been on our minds, and we think other comic collectors might as well. The first thing we've been hearing a lot, we heard from Poet Skinny too.
Yeah, Poet Skinny. Shout out to Poet Skinny for that video.
Yeah, was cutbacks when you've gone too far.
Yeah.
And some of the things that make you want to drop out of comics. The first thing we notice, especially with the release of the New 52 and them going back to the $2.99, is the cover price. We got the $2.99 comics, and we got the $3.99 comics, and I think that really comes into play when you're making a decision if you're going to stick with something. What do you think?
For the most part, Marvel is the company that has their comics at $3.99. However, there are some titles like Deadpool, I believe Venom was another one, Captain Marvel, what are $2.99, but for anything else, mainly it's $3.99. And when you're buying those by the bulk, weekly tie-ins, events, it just starts to add up, right? In DC, when they first came out with the New 52, it was called Hold the Line at $2.99. Batman and Justice League are $2.99 DC. We know this, but they're good books.
They are good books, and the story at the back of Batman is alright, but and sometimes it can be deceiving. Like Venom's a great example. Oh, it's $2.99. That's great. I saved $1, but they release it twice a month.
Twice a month.
I would have really appreciated no more by monthly or bi-weekly or whatever.
Yeah,
comics.
Me too.
Keep it to one a month.
And as I was saying in one of the haul videos earlier that we were discussing, one of the haul videos we made, I said it seemed like Avenging Spider-Man was out. It's like 3 times within the last month and a week, you know? I mean, 3 times, that's more to the budget. You budget yourself to get a certain amount a month, and when things get pushed up, things come out, tie-ins, bi-weekly stuff, it gets costly. At $3.99, it gets costly. Very costly.
It gets costly really fast. So that obviously comes into it. This is my biggest problem when I got back into this year was I started collecting and I had, only 5 issues for the first month, and so I blew through those. Like, I need more. And I got to the point where I just had way too many. I think I was collecting
yeah, you were up in the 30s,
35
I was in the late 20s.
Different issues, and coming to that decision, like, what do you actually really enjoy versus, I don't know, I almost felt like an obligation.
Yeah, obligation. And I feel like this, if we got something at the table here we just want to show you as an example. All these books on this table between the two of us were picked up this week. Now, we talked about $3.99, we talked about $2.99. And for the most part, if I'm not mistaken, most books here are $3.99.
I don't know if the AVX
is $3.99. All of these are $3.99. The Watchmen's $3.99. That's $3.50.
Just to mix things up.
Yeah, $3.50.
And then we've got the $3, most of the $3,
the $3 ones at the top.
And Shade in American Battle.
Now, you mentioned earlier about the obligation thing. I felt obligated to those titles, to the AVX titles, because it's something that I started from the beginning with Zero, and I'm like, I'll get the tie-ins, and for the most part at the beginning it was worth it. And then I found, a couple months went by and I was realizing I was sometimes buying 7 extra issues a month at $3.99. You do the math and tax. Some places charge you for bags and boards, some don't. But either way, it adds up. On top of the $2.99 books that we were showing before that I was buying.
Yeah.
So it came to a breaking point where I was like, obligation versus wants versus needs.
Yeah.
And right now I feel obligated. I'm going to finish out the series, but it was a tough choice, and this is why I'm
when you've already invested in 80-90% of it, and you want the collection, you can't just stop. And there's some limited runs, which actually is another thing, a big reason too. Like, again, this is just 1 week of a haul, and it's not necessarily our biggest week. No. And that stuff adds up. Sometimes it's just sheer volume, and you need to shut it off. And one of the biggest things I want to, I'm a big Image fan.
Yeah.
So they have tons of, I think almost every month they release a new limited run, like a 1 to 5 limited series. And I really want an opportunity to jump in and try new stuff. And when you're collecting everything, You can't afford it after a while.
No, like so basically I came up with an idea. You know, I've dropped a lot of titles, and luckily for us though, the good thing is that a lot of the titles that we're buying right now are ending. Watchmen's a limited run, Spider-Man's a limited run, American Vampire is a limited run, Shade was a limited run, Resurrection Man's ending, etc. There's other titles in there that I'm talking about that is like that, so it's ending. But I try to set myself at a cap where I'm like, if I want to buy this amount, I leave a little bit of space open for something like you just said. If there's something comes out, you want to try it, you have that extra money without going over your budget. But there were some tough decisions that had to be made, and unfortunately, there were comics that were cut.
Yeah, when letting go of comics, again, something that you start reading and it's actually really good, and you get involved in it, and then it starts to go south. I mean,
Yeah.
AVX is a perfect example.
Yeah,
Let's
just the
discuss on
excitement
AVX.
level went down. If I'm not excited anymore and I just feel like I'm buying it because I need to, because I've followed the issue up to this far, and I'm buying it because I feel I need to as opposed to buying it because I'm enjoying it, that's when the problem happens. And so, that being said, I decided to make the cuts, and October 1st, you guys will notice in some of our upcoming haul videos that the hauls won't be as big, but they not necessarily are going to be small, but not overwhelming anymore.
Yeah, like a few titles, like I thought I was going to carry on with Venom until Minimum Carnage. I've sort of decided maybe I'll collect Minimum Carnage and then just drop out. And it's the new year too, as far as the new year for comics. Like this is when like Marvel's trying to reboot their series.
I'm not excited about Marvel now, and I'm sorry Marvel fans out there, I'm going to apologize to you right now. And I know you're probably going to be upset with me, but for the most part, I'm going to be done with Marvel. I'm not hopping on to Marvel now. Deadpool, I will buy the new Deadpool when it comes out, and I'll follow Captain Marvel and Uncanny X-Force. That looks about it for me. I'm not, unfortunately, going to be into the Marvel Now stuff. I spent a lot invested into the AVX, and it just really hasn't worked.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground on the new X-Men, but I need to see that it's gonna offer me something different than Marvel usually does, because that's sort of why I dropped Venom and Hulk. Nothing wrong with them, but it's the same sort of Marvel story. Like, okay, here's a monster, go do it, beat it up, but DC's found a new way with the New 52 to tell stories in a different way. Each character has a different style to the way they get their story told, and I'm looking forward to new stuff. Is there anything in the new year that you're most excited for?
Oh, I, for one, am very excited for. I'm glad you asked me that, Jay, because All in the Family is starting, and the Joker's making his return. We haven't seen the Joker since the beginning of the New 52 reset. I believe it was Detective Comics #1. His face got put up against the wall. I guess his face got shedded from the last time we seen him. So he's back. He's back, and it's going to be crossing in with these Batman titles here. Batgirl, Batman, Batman and Robin, Catwoman's going to be in there. That's just what I've heard now. Batwoman, I haven't heard anything. She seems to do her own thing.
She does sort of do her own thing, but it is exciting. It's hard to actually believe. I remember someone mentioning that halfway through last year. I think probably you. It's like, there's been no Joker. And it's so weird because he's the most iconic villain.
In the
considering
DC universe,
how many how many Bat or Gotham titles are there? There's a ton of them, and not having the most iconic villain in it.
For the whole year too, they
been
did
strange.
a job.
I think maybe that's why we saw a lot of Penguin.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he still is coming back because the Detective, he was on the cover, so Penguin is near.
Yeah,
Penguin
it gave
is
me
not.
a sour taste. I can't remember what I was reading. Probably like Grifter Zero, and I hit that advertisement for the first time this month. Like, oh, more Penguin. It kind of soured the taste of the rest of the issue.
Yes, we got more Penguin.
Obviously, who wouldn't be excited? But yeah, so that's a couple of things that have been on our minds. Got it out of our system a little bit. And I guess that's the end of this for our first issue at the Table of Heroes.
At the Table of Heroes, yeah. And just before we get out of there, yes, if you guys want to discuss more of this, or please comment. And I'm sure if there's going to be video responses for how you feel, let us know how you feel so I can check out your videos too. We're looking forward to seeing yours. And Ryan signing off.
Jason signing off. Nate behind the camera over there, and we'll see you next time.